Welcome to Langley Raceway for the 20-lap event for the Pure Stock Division. 20 cars are scheduled to take the green flag in tonight's feature event. Jerry Scott in car number 51 and the number 24 car of Gene Smith scheduled to start on the front row by virtue of their points. Scott in the 51 with a healthy lead right now of 18 points over Gene Smith and also the 22 of Sam Zollner. These two drivers will be chasing him down to see if they can gain a little bit in the point standings. Scott has been one tough nut to crack so far here in 1994. Quickly getting out to the early advantage. The 51 of Scott takes the lead. Zollner and Smith remain side by side with the 90 of Vince Pope joining the battle for the runner-up honors. Zollner gets a spot off in turn number 3 and 4. 7 Machine of Bruce Camp qualifying in 14th position or starting there, heavily smoking off turn number 3 and 4. He'll keep the car on the speedway down to the inside as he works across the stripe. Consultation flag being given to the driver of car number 7 as Jerry Scott in the 51 enjoys the lead. Now a battle for second. Vince Pope, the new runner-up. Sam Zollner in the 22 falls back to third. The 24 of Gene Smith in the number 4 spot. And Jeff Dinsmore in the 26 making up the top 5. Camp in car number 7 limping down the back straightaway, heavily smoking, but apparently no fluid being dumped on the track according to the officials as he'll be bringing that car down pit road to become the first official casualty of tonight's activity. 20 laps again will be in the record books for tonight's Pure Stock Division, and now the caution will wave with Jerry Scott working back to the stripe here on lap number 2. Back at Langley Raceway, some fluid dumped down on the speedway by a couple of cars, one of them being the number 17 of Greg Clark and the 7 of Bruce Camp, showing some terminal troubles early in tonight's feature event. The car number 57 of Buanchetto also made a visit down pit road, has since returned out to action. 2 laps in the record books and 18 to go here in tonight's feature event. 51 of Jerry Scott, the 2-time winner and point leader with a 18-point lead in the series standings here after 3 weeks of action, is the leader. The 90 of Vince Pope has tucked himself into second. Car number 22 of Sam Zollner holding on to third with Gene Smith and Jeff Dinsmore making up your top 5. Chris Mull, last week's feature winner, in car number 43 currently holds down the number 6 spot as the field works back to the stripe to complete lap number 3. Mull quickly goes to the inside of the Dinsmore car. Corey Fogelman in car number 66 also right there in the battle. He holds on to the number 7 position, and behind them a good battle. Bill Wilder in car number 12 is also trying to move up one more notch in the order as well. Scott back to the stripe as Pope only a couple of car lengths behind him in the number 2 spot. 4 laps complete. And a lot of good side-by-side battles. Wilder is side-by-side with the 27 of Paul Hopkins Jr., who started 1 row in front of him. And those battles continue on. Mull and Dinsmore back there for the 5th spot. Corey Fogelman, Bill Wilder, and a ton of cars 3 wide off in turn number 3 and 4. They are stacked up as they come off the turn. Everybody comes out in pretty clean shape, and the deck is shuffled from 5th position on back. Chris Mull, the new 5th place car, the number 43. 27 Machine. Paul Hopkins Jr. trying to get into 6th. Corey Fogelman side by side with him. Jeff Dinsmore drops a couple of notches in the order as they continue some toward battling farther back in the top 10. Jerry Scott in the 51 still your leader by a few car lengths over Vince Pope, Sam Zollner, and Gene Smith. Mull for the moment holding on to 5th, but that driver is being absorbed by Corey Fogelman and Paul Hopkins as they work turn number 3 and 4. Obviously, those two look like they have a little bit more horsepower on this night than the Mull machine does. Fogelman in the 66 now moves into the number 6 spot. And we'll see what he can do in turn number 1 and 2. Meanwhile, challenge for the lead up front. Pope is on the inside of Jerry Scott as he works some lap traffic. 26 of Jeff Dinsmore will be the next car they get, but Vince Pope will clear the leader and be the new number 1 car as they work back to the stripe. So far, the winners this year, Scott won the first 2 feature events of 1994. The 43 of Chris Mull picked up the feature victory just 1 week ago. And Mull is now having some mechanical troubles. He's slowing off turn number 2, so Scott may be the only other driver that's won so far this year that can get back into victory lane again. Other than that, we may find ourselves a new winner in victory lane. Vince Pope and the 90-year leader bound the back straightaway. 10 laps will go on the board this time by. Sam Zollner in the 22 remains your 3rd place car. The 24 at Gene Smith is 4th as the 43 of Chris Mull makes the visit down pit road. Mull at one point was in the number 5 spot. The 5th place car now working its way back to the stripe. That'll be the 66 of Corey Fogelman. 77 of Brian Douglas also coming from deep in the pack. He is now running in 7th position, challenging Fogelman. 27 of Paul Hopkins Jr. holding on to the 8th spot. 9th is the number 12 of Bill Wilder with the 54 machine. Billy Newman rounding out the top 10. Jeff Dinsmore qualifying very well, but also having troubles, brings the 26 in and out of pit road here on lap number 11. Two have pulled away from the rest of the field, and for the time being, they are out on the speedway by themselves. No lap traffic to deal with. Vince Pope with the number 90 holding on to the top spot. Once again, currently in 6th position by himself in the point standings, trying to move up into the top 5 for the first time this year. Scott at the 51 challenging him. Ford versus Chevy is what we'll have here in the final 12 laps, or I should say 7 laps of tonight's action. 20 laps are the distance. 13 are on the board as they hit the midpoint of the back straightaway. Sam Zollner in the 22 had been comfortably in 3rd. Now Gene Smith has caught him as he worked turn 3 and 4 to the low side of a lap car. Meanwhile, the battle for the number 5 spot between Brian Douglas and Corey Fogelman continues to heat up. As they work themselves back to the stripe, it's Douglas in the 77 starting back in 10th position. He now is in the number 5 spot. Fogelman back to 6th. The 7th spot going to Bill Wilder. Paul Hopkins Jr. running in 8th position. 54 of Billy Newman holding on to the number 9 spot. Good battle up front between Pope and Jerry Scott as they are about to work heavy lap traffic. 5 laps to go, now 4.5 as they work turn number 3 and 4. 3 or 4 lap machines just in front as Pope works back to the stripe. Clearing around the number 23 car of Susan Hank, the female campaigner, making her first appearance here in the limited or pure stock class at Langley Raceway. Next machine up will be the number 57 of Boo Anchetta, who has had one visit down on pit road. The 17 of Greg Clark had some early mechanical troubles, went behind the wall, got it repaired, and came back out. Now it looks like he's going to call it quits for the night. As the leaders work off turn number 2, 17 on the board. 2 to go indication will come by this time as Jerry Scott looking for that 3rd victory of the season. Vince Pope trying to deny him. Ford versus Chevy continuing the battle off turn number 4. Smoky car in front of them. Just a couple of cars up as we watch the top 2 drivers head down the back straightaway. A lap and a half away from the checkered flag. Pope with the number 90 trying to become the 3rd different winner in 4 weeks of competition here in the best transmission pure stock division. White flag coming out for the 90 of Vince Pope. Scott in the 51 has been primarily involved in every one of the pure stock outcomes for the lead. As a 51 again, we'll see what he can do down the back straightaway. Pope in the 90 is your leader, working off into turn number 3 and 4. One final last-ditch effort down on the inside for Jerry Scott. Pope swings it out high and takes tonight's pure stock checkered flag. Jerry Scott in the 51 will come home in the number 2 spot. Coming home 3rd tonight will be the number 24 machine of Gene Smith. The 22 of Sam Zollner will finish in 4th. 77 of Brian Douglas rounds out.
Well, give it up for him, folks. His first pure stock feature victory of the season, Vince Pope at the Cap City number 90 here in the best transmissions of Hampton pure stock division. Well, Vince, you renewed that feud in the grandstands. Ford versus Chevy put on a whale of a battle tonight, and it looked like you'd had a stout car ever since the season started, but you just hadn't had Lady Luck working on your side. You finally got it to work in your favor tonight.
Yeah, we hadn't had Lady Luck for about 3 years now, and I think she rode with us tonight. The Ford runs good for us. It's a little bit different. It's harder to work with sometimes, but it ran for us tonight. We were real proud of it.
Well, I tell you, you guys didn't get to go under the clock, and I don't know whether that's more advantageous to you or not, but you were 6th in the point standings coming into tonight, so that was a tremendous disadvantage in one way for you, having such good talent ahead of you so far, but you had to pass the best of competition out there in the pure stock class. You wasted little time going right to the front.
Well, the inside track is the way to go here, and the 5th guy in points didn't make it today, so we got to start on the inside, so that really helped us out a lot. And it was a good race.
Well, I tell you, I talked to Chris Mull last week here in Victory Lane, and it seems like the one driver you got to watch out for was a driver that you had to watch out for tonight, and that was Jerry Scott in car number 51. He looked like he put as much pressure as a driver could possibly put on you without pushing the car around and going for the victory himself. You guys look like you had a great war in and out of lap traffic.
Yeah, he's a good racer. He's a great competitor. I like to come out here and run against him. He's helped us out a lot too, and he's a good, clean racer. You know where he's at, and you know where he's going to go. You know, so he's not one to go out and beat and bang on you and turn you around. He's a good guy. I like racing with him.
Well, it looks like the beginning of a lot of good things to come for Vince Pope in car number 90. Glad to see a victory in here for you. And once again, says a lot about the class. Jerry's got 2 feature wins already this year, and he's pretty much been in the figuring for all of them this year. But in 4 weeks, he got 3 different winners in that class, so that means the pure stocks have got some great talent in there as well.
Yeah, and a lot of it's got to do with our sponsors. I want to take a minute to thank Cap City and East Coast Boat Lifts, too. These guys have been with us since pretty much day one, and been with us through the thick and the thin. And things like this, you know, we take the trophy by and let it sit on their shop for a little while or something. But it's because of people like that we're able to do this. And, of course, my mom and dad have helped me out a whole lot, too. I wouldn't be here without them. They weren't able to be here tonight, but I'd like to kind of dedicate this race to them.
Well, you get over there and get your piece of hardware because you earned it tonight. Vince Pope, the driver of car number 90, here in tonight's Pure Stock feature.
Can I get you with my girlfriend?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Could you call her? Lisa to come down to you?
Lisa.
My girlfriend.
Could Lisa, Vince's girlfriend, he would like to get a picture down here in Victory Lane with you as well. Come on down, Lisa.